Welcome to the cover reveal of Ruthless Alchemy, a Misplaced Adventures novel by Jen Bair. This is book 2 in the Hettie Stormheart series. How's it feel, book 2, Jen?
Wonderful. It kind of feels like I'm not a new author so much anymore. We've got
No?
more than one book under our belt. So,
One more and you have a completed series. I mean, that's accomplishment
yeah.
right there. I love it. I love it. Well, in Cursed Dragon Ship Publishing, we don't like to torture you. Let's just reveal that cover now. Ta-da! So
Woo!
pretty! And I love the purple. It's just my favorite color.
Yes, it's a wonderful look for the book.
hmm I agree. I love it. So it works. We've got Ori on the front,
hmm
her Amber Hawk, and then of course there is Hettie. And then we have to assume that Daryl is also on the cover, even though we can't see him.
Yes, yes. He's kind of hard to draw, like in silhouette from a distance.
That's right. Because how does she carry Daryl around?
She carries him in a little black pouch around her neck,
Uh-huh. And who is Daryl?
which Daryl is the talking eyeball. He is the sidekick of Hettie Stormheart, Pirate Witch, first daughter of the very powerful sea witch, Makoa, um, who I'm actually going to read about a little bit today.
In
So
just a little bit. So exciting. Well, first, let me read the back cover copy now that we have a kind of
absolutely.
a refresher of who these characters are. In this exhilarating sequel, Hettie, Daryl, and Ori reunite with the formidable Widow's Will to confront Lord Vincent head-on. With Cedrios rallying behind them, their army swells, poised to crush the Dark Lord's forces threatening their land. But as they plunge into the heart of the conflict, chaos reigns supreme. Hettie's mission to rescue the oppressed is thwarted by a malevolent alchemist, turning the residents mad, and enemies wielding power able to neutralize Hettie's magic. Amidst the turmoil, allies become adversaries, and Hettie finds herself trapped in a deadly game of deception. With time running out, Hettie must unravel the mysteries shrouding Vincent's twisted creations before they unleash devastation upon the realm. With unlikely allies by her side, a race of subterranean rock dwellers, and a lovelorn stone spider, Hettie confronts nightmarish creatures to save the only family she has left. Get ready for an electrifying adventure where every page crackles with magic, mystery, and the indomitable spirit of a heroine facing her greatest challenge yet. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Awesome. This was such a fun book to write. There's so many different aspects of the combined authors that we have going on at Cursed Dragon Ship in the Misplaced Adventures universe to kind of draw from different things. This one kind of ties in directly to William Glaney's series. You don't have to read his series to read my series. All of them stand alone. But if you read more than one series, they tie in very nicely together. The Stone Spider was especially fun to write about because we've got a super fan, Northern Lights, who's in the chat, who is our fantastic super fan, who does not like spiders. So I wrote a spider into this book just for her so that she would learn to like spiders. And I let her name it, and it's fantastic. So
I think you're going to have to say didn't used to like spiders.
did not used to like spiders. We are converting her slowly. All of the
That's
authors
right.
are converting her.
That's right. It's nice. Or anyone else. We used to have to
Yes.
warn that we were going to post spiders. Now we're just like, spider.
Honestly,
see
though,
the
she's
spider
up for
pictures,
anything.
join
So
us.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, we
Yeah.
are on Discord and we have a lot of fun on there. We are a pretty active chat, I gotta say.
It's pretty fun. So this one, your first book too. So what was challenging about, knocking this novel out?
Oh gosh, honestly, I love the characters in the book. They have personality. They do their own thing. In this book, when I launched my last book, I was in an Airbnb just moving into my new house. So writing this book, I was kind of behind deadline on and had to kind of cram to get this written while I'm trying to set up 4 kids and a dog in a house with, all the things that get prepared for school and whatever, all the busy stuff. So it was kind of a hectic crunch for me trying to get the book written, but it did get written quickly. That's kind of how that goes when you hit a deadline. That's when you get it done. So procrastination at its finest, right there, and it's good.
I think half the world gets built based on procrastination and deadlines.
Right.
I love it. Yeah, Northern Light says that she loves Daryl's idioms and when he and Hettie bicker. And this is a good point because the first book, she lost a bunch of her family. And if you don't know why, definitely pick that up. It's One
Yes.
Good Eye by Jen Bair. But so she loses a lot of her family. So this one, it's like she's kind of figuring out who her family is. So I love the point that bickering, it's almost like Daryl is a new sibling.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is. He is a brat. He's a
He
bratty.
really is
He
a
is a
rat.
bratty sibling.
I adore it. Yeah,
Ah.
Florida Kevin says he's a character, but Hettie is still his favorite. So I mean, I do adore her as well. She's wonderful. And she's like kind without being I don't know, a pushover. Because she
Yeah.
has her power, but she doesn't wield it over people. Like she's really complicated and I adore her. Sorry, what inspired Hettie?
Well, let's see. She just kind of jumped off the page for me because Kevin had written about a sea witch who was kind of brutal. Honestly, Makoa's pretty brutal. And so
Yeah.
I wanted to write about a witch. And he's like, I have a witch. I was like, great. I'm going to write her origin story from 400 years ago and have her, in Kevin's world, she's got a ton of daughters. And so I'm like, I'm going to write about the very first daughter she's ever had. So Hetty has grown up with sort of a kind of a privilege. She lives on an island. Her mother rules the island. She is like a brutal witch that nobody messes with. So she's been kind of protected and sheltered. And when she loses a bunch of her family at the end of book one, she kind of gets booted out into the world like, hey, baby fledgling, go on. She's like 19, still a teenager, kind of doesn't know what she's doing, but had a plan at home. And now she's not at home. So she gets to go out in the world and kind of figure out her place in it and tackle life. But yep.
I love it. I love it. It's very satisfying to read. And you do some very mean things to her in this one. But
I
I know
do.
that
I do.
you have a sample to read for us today.
I do. Are we ready for that?
Yes. Do you need to set it up? Is there anything you need to tell us
Nope.
beforehand?
Nope.
All
I did
right.
want to acknowledge the comments though, Kevin. Thank you. He says you added so much to the Deep Witch. I've so enjoyed seeing that. She has been really fun to write. Your character that you started with was fantastic. Kevin does a great job of building his world. There's so much meat to it that it's easy to play with. And remember that I am not a professional narrator, but we'll do our best. Okay, so I have tweaked the wording on this to avoid spoilers for book one. So if you haven't read book one, don't feel like you can't listen. To set the stage for this passage, Hetty is on a boat with a bunch of soldiers as part of a fleet of boats. They're on the way to battle. They have reached their destination, which is a remote mountain dock, and they have found it's been burned to ash. From her perch atop the aft castle, Hetty studied the blackened remains of a dock protruding from the rocky shore. If one could call it a shore, it was more a collection of boulders. They'd only just begun their journey, and the burning of the docks indicated their foe would prove to be as unpredictable as ever. Too bad you didn't bring more rowboats, Daryl said. Even rowboats won't help without a dock, she countered. The morning sunshine reached beyond the looming mountaintops, illuminating the glistening shoreline. The rocks are mossy, and it's a 6-foot vertical climb up to the path, she sucked on her teeth. We should have planned for something like this. This adds a bit of spontaneity. It heightens the adventure. This isn't an adventure, she reminded him for the 1,000th time. It's war. War can be an adventure. Only if you're a mortal. Shouts rang out from beneath the sail of their ship, the Lucky Lass. Surrounded by cheering soldiers, 2 men raced to strip off their clothing. Hetty sighed. What are these idiots up to now? Daryl let out a little squeal of glee. I don't know, but it looks like fun. Let's see if you can strip faster than they can. Hetty ignored him and watched the scene unfold. Stripped down to skivvies and boots, one man sprinted for the railing and bounded overboard with practiced ease. Hetty couldn't figure out how he'd gotten his pants off over his boots. Go, fool, Daryl cackled, caught up in the excitement. Whatever they're doing, I hope that guy wins. What in Handon's gullet? Hetty wondered, peering down at the spot where the man had disappeared beneath the waves. The dim morning light made it difficult to see below the surface. Is he swimming for shore? The water temperature was comfortable, but a man couldn't go to war naked, so swimming for shore alone and unclothed was a stupid plan. Stop whining and start cheering, Daryl said. The second man finally untangled his feet from his breeches and stalked over to the railing, still wearing his shirt and skivvies. You left your boots on, fish for brains, he hollered when his competitor's head breached the surface not far from the boat. Hettie descended to the main deck and pushed her way through the gathered men. She found Captain Pulley near the railing, his bushy white eyebrows drawn together as he frowned at the man in the water. Are the men getting bored, Captain? She asked. He stiffened, but avoided looking at her. He was more terrified of her magic than most Cedrians she'd met. Blessed be your mother, he said in greeting. The men are young and eager to help. He shook his head and muttered to himself. Perhaps too eager. Hettie had her doubts on how swimming naked was supposed to help, and she said so. The captain tipped his head in a way that indicated he too had no idea how this was supposed to help. On most ships, the captain's word was law. Captain Pulley had been terrified enough of Hettie to avoid asserting himself during their short voyage, and the lack of discipline showed. What are you up to, Zaka? The captain called to the man in the water. Zaka did a lazy backstroke, pulling away from the lucky lass, while keeping an eye on his competitor overhead. The half-naked man spoke up before Zaka could answer, voice pitched to carry so his friend in the water could hear. We were gonna race to shore. We can get up those rocks, no problem. We, Zaka called. You lost this race before you started. Because you're a dirty cheatin' fin stuffer, hollered the other. It ain't cheatin' if I'm quicker. Zaka took a breath and ducked his head, thrashing around as he tried to get his boots off while staying afloat. The crowd watched in amusement until Zaka suddenly jerked. His head shot up, his expression terrified. What is it? Hettie asked. Flailing, he spun in a circle, peering down into the water. Hettie reached for her magic, ready to scan the area. Before she got that far, a slimy purple head emerged directly behind Zaka. Hettie froze at the sight of a fishman. A gasp from the ship's passengers echoed across the water. In a flash, the gelatinous fishman disappeared beneath the surface with Zaka in tow. Daryl let out a low whistle. He's quicker, all right. Quicker at dying. The half-naked man still aboard began muttering a prayer. Hettie flared her senses, finding Zaka in moments, only to find his heartbeat stuttering. The fishman was firmly clamped to his neck. A heartbeat later, he was dead. Hettie slammed her hands on the railing in frustration. She turned her attention to the surrounding water, searching for more of the creatures. One hovered near the surface, a silent sentinel watching for others foolish enough to enter the water. Another was down near the silty ocean floor. 3 more fishmen circled the dead man before lunging. They tore poor Zaka to shreds in moments. Hettie was a healer, but she couldn't heal death. Swimming is out. We're going to need another way across. Without warning, the fishmen retreated beyond the range of her magic. It didn't take long for her to figure out why. Bubbles rose from the murky depths, as if the sea were boiling. Muttered curses from soldiers and sailors alike filled the air. Hettie, Daryl said, that sea turtle is staring at you. She sensed the turtle before she spotted it. Huge and reddish-brown, it watched her from beside the boat. Rising bubbles carried words, wry and raspy. First daughter. Makoa, the deep witch, had a voice that was innately ominous. Another wave of homesickness struck Hettie. Hello, Mother. It's been a while. That is my excerpt.
Have a ominous voice, and
Yes.
Hettie feels homesick.
Yes.
Complicated life this Hettie lives. I cannot say an ominous voice would make me feel homesick.
No. Or a sea turtle staring at me from the ocean. That's a whole different story, but Makoa is a fun character.
Yes. I always say, though, that the bad guys are usually, calling her bad guys, the villains are more fun to write because they know they're correct. So it does make it a lot more fun.
Yep. We have a range of villains in this book.
Did you read that whole thing?
This is a naked book,
like,
Florida, Kevin says. This
Yes.
is a naked book.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Yes, he is. He's having a lot of fun. That's why I don't go kissing on no jello fish guys. Yes, yes. If you see a fish man, do not kiss him.
Yeah, it's frowned upon.
Yes.
Not a good idea. Not a good idea.
Lena
Awesome,
says it's
awesome.
just me. It's never just you, Lena. You're fantastic. So if anybody doesn't know, I have
Mm.
a logo. I wish I had my logo up, but
Well, they could go to your website. Tell them where
yes,
your
if
website
you go
is.
to my website, jenbear.com, the very
Hmm.
top of my website is this big blue flaming phoenix, and Lena drew that for me. She is a fantastic artist. Um, yes, in the chat, it says jenbear.com. Yes, she is a fantastic artist and made that for me, and I've gotten so many compliments on it because she's fantastic.
Yeah, Lena is quite talented. So if you're looking for any
Yep.
kind of graphic art, website design, newsletter help, Lena's definitely the one to go to.
Yeah. She even created the covers of Kevin's first 5 books, right? The Misplaced
Yep.
Adventures books.
Yeah, and she
So,
did the cover. She didn't do the art, but she did the cover for Greg's book too, The Murder on the Interstellar Express.
yes, nice. Yes, Lena, of course, you only get special treatment because of who you're married to, not for your artwork at all. Clearly, we just bragged about how you're married to Kevin and he's amazing. Yes.
No, actually, we're just like, so sorry, Lena. I'm so sorry about this. I know it sounded like a good idea at the time.
Oh,
That's actually what we say. But she also did the Misplaced Adventures logo. So
yes. Yes, that
yeah,
ribbon at the top of every book.
yep. So
So,
she did that inside awesome part on the inside. So she's pretty awesome.
yeah,
I think she's looking for sympathy. I gave her sympathy. I get it. I
there
also
you
am
go.
married to a Kevin. I know the pain.
I was going to say, if we knew Lena was going to be here, if Molly Phipps, who is also a fantastic artist and who does these covers, all my purple covers, if we can't have Molly Phipps on here, we should have Lena fill in every time and be
That's
like,
right. She could come
tell
in
us
as
about your
our
artwork.
resident artist. You're
Yes.
right. You're right. Awesome. Well, since we are now all excited about this incredible novel, and that scene makes us even more excited, even though they're on the ocean in this one, they do spend most of the time in the mountain, as is on the cover there.
Yeah.
But it was nice having a transition, right? Because the last one was mostly on the ocean and in
Yeah.
the swamp.
Yeah. This book's only got like a chapter or two of boat, and that's it.
Yep. And then off we go to the mountains. So I love it. Um, And so this one, where can people, oh, if you would like to order it now, it is already up for pre-order. So you can go to
Awesome.
curseddragonship.com/ruthless alchemy and get your copy now or get it pre-ordered now. And if anyone wants an early copy, if you've read the first
Yes.
one and you are anxious to get this second one right now, we would love to hear what you think. So Jen Bear, where can they go besides our Discord? Where can they go to get a copy?
They can go to, you can message me on author Jen Bair on Facebook. You can go to my website and contact me through there. You can, I'm spacing out. You can go to, did we say Curse Dragon Ship your website?
Yeah, not on our website. There's nowhere to get it on there, but you do our Discord. So if you go to
Yes.
curseddragonship.com/Discord, and that's where all our authors hang out. So you can get all kinds of free books if you join us on
Yes.
Discord.
Yep. Yep. And you get to meet the authors and chat with them on there pretty much daily. We're on there. So,
We are on there. And our Fantasticorn.
yes.
She would really appreciate the help. Poor thing has to read all of our books.
Yes.
That's right.
Voluntarily. You make it sound like we make her, and she's fantastic for doing it without any coercion at all. I've never even met her, and she's been like a huge fan since day one, and that's what every author is. That's like the goalpost, right? When you're a new author, is like, I need somebody to just fall in love with my books that I've never met. Not my mom, not my brother, not my sister, not my publisher, just some random person, and that's her, and she's all in for everything. I love it.
Yep. She's no longer a random person. She's part of the crew.
Yes.
Now we need to find more random people. So if you want to be random people, join us on Discord.
Yes.
And until you become family. That's how it works around here, just like in our books.
We adopt everyone.
We do. That's the rule. And so Tuesday, this book comes out Tuesday, July 23rd. So we're just a couple of weeks out. So please join us back. It's 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central.
Thank you, Northern. She says, congratulations. Awesome. You guys are great. Thanks.
Yay.